Hey everyone, I'm Sophie Stinnett,
And I'm Morgan Mendelson.
And I'm Jared Samuels.
and we're bringing you the 7th episode of What's Behind the Game, where you'll get an exclusive look at how all your favorite athletes eat, train, and anything else you'd like to know. Today on the show, we have Keenan Evans. Keenan is currently a point guard in the G League for the Detroit Pistons, and last year was a second-team All-American and first-team All-Big 12 point guard for Texas Tech. So let's welcome Keenan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming out today and joining us on our video call. How was your travels today?
It was good. It went by pretty fast. When I'm on a flight, I usually just fall right asleep as soon as that plane takes off. I don't know, just kind of rocks me to sleep.
Yeah, where'd you come from?
We left Detroit and we are in Oklahoma City right now.
Okay, nice. So now that you're practicing in Detroit, how did basketball start for you? Where did it all begin?
It just began as a baby. My family, we come from a very basketball-oriented family, so just them putting the ball in my hand, getting little Fisher Price goals, and then all my cousins playing sports, we just all would get after it and play with each other.
Yeah, we see that your father was an Olympic athlete and your mom did college basketball. So you believe they had a huge role in your upbringing in basketball?
Oh, most definitely. Both of them played basketball. My dad actually played basketball right before he went to college for track, so he loved the sport. I actually tried, track, but it just interfered with basketball too much, and I love basketball, so I was just like, I'm gonna just stick to this one sport. So they definitely, pushed me and make me better every day.
Yeah, there was no pressure. You just kind of fell in love with the game.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no pressure at all.
That's good. Nice. That's good. Did you have any sort of training regimen growing up, or were you just playing just to play?
My parents, they would find people for me to work out with, and that really helped them doing that. So it'll always be somebody close that they trusted and believed to help me get better.
Okay, so since you have different people helping you with your training, was there anyone specifically that impacted you while working out and everything?
Oh, I feel like all of them, because it wasn't really that many. So when I pretty much stuck with a couple people growing up, and it just helped me get to where I am today.
That's good. That's good. So when you were going through a recruiting process, what were you looking for in a school for college?
I just really wanted to look for a family-oriented place, somewhere I can get a good education. Yeah, it comes up, but yeah, a good education, and they knew how to treat their athletes, and they knew balance from sports and school. So that was definitely a big part in the process, and also just a coach that's willing to do whatever, and also just to help you grow in the sport and make you love it even more.
That's good. So is that are those the main reasons why you choose Tech over the other schools you were recruiting for?
Yes, those are the main reasons why.
Good, good.
When you were transitioning from high school to college, what was the biggest challenge? Was it the speed of the game or the athletes, or what was the biggest difference?
I would have to say the speed. Even going from college to the NBA, the speed is different. But definitely from high school to college, it is very different. And also just the physicality of it, just having to get in the weight room. And he used to lifting weights because before I got to college, I literally had never lifted weights. So getting to college and transforming my body was something huge that I had to really, put in work to do.
And you mentioned your coach and how they care. But when Tech changed coaches from Tubby Smith to Chris Beard, after Coach Smith left, did you feel any weirdness about changing coaches, or what difference did he play, Coach Beard as a whole? Did you have any? Did anything hold you back from continuing playing for Tech?
Yeah, it was tough, especially how it all went down. It was just kind of funky. So, but just the guys I came in with, I still wanted to play with them. We still wanted to compete for a Big 12 title. We still wanted to make an NCAA tournament run. So at the end, it was all worth it after this my senior season. So me staying, I was kind of hesitant on it, but it all worked out.
what advice would you give a kid that is transferring to a school and undergoes a coaching change?
That's a tough one. I just say, you just gotta, if you're gonna change schools or stay, you just gotta believe in it. And once you change, or once the change happens, like, you just gotta go all in and not, I don't want to cuss on that, but you have to half butt it instead of, just not be all the way in. So you just gotta you gotta put your heart into it.
Yeah, passion.
Sure. So you steadily improved every year, and by your senior year, you're one of the best players in the country. Like, what led to that drive for improvement?
Just wanting to get to the next level. My family telling me that I could be much better, coaches telling me I can be much better, and just wanting to have a winning season and a historic season. And me getting better was pretty much me setting the tone for everybody else.
For sure. And what did you do to prepare? Because there was a lot of times when you were in such stressful situations that you kept such composure and grace on the court. Like, you never seemed like you were under any pressure. So what did you do to stay like that?
It's just reps in practice, reps when nobody's watching. You put yourself in those moments. Every basketball player pretty much puts themselves in those moments where they're like, okay, 30 seconds on the clock, or big stop. The coach will put us in situationals in practice where we have to get a stop for us to end practice or not to run suicide. So whatever you practice, it kind of transfers to the game.
Sure. And what was your approach playing in difficult environments like Allen Fieldhouse?
Oh man, I loved it. I loved silencing the crowd, and that's one of the best feelings is when you go to somebody else's home and you piss them off and you make them mad and cry and scream bad things and scream bad things at you. So it's always fun to go to other people's places and make them quiet.
Yeah, for sure.
You came up really big in clutch situations, like when you scored 38 and you hit a buzzer beater against my school, Texas. Really hurt. How do you handle a situation? Thanks for that. Wow. How do you handle situations, and what advice would you give anyone in a clutch situation?
You just got to believe in yourself. All that work you put in the dark, it comes to light. You just got to, believe in it and be ready to step up and, make that your moment.
Yeah, okay. During Tech's March Madness run, you played great dealing with a broken big toe, but how did you deal with that injury, and what would you tell people that are going through an injury where they require such foot movement and require to be on your feet so much?
It was just kind of like a 4-1. But how I dealt with it, it was just like, man, it was painful. It was staying in the training room. I don't know if y'all seen pictures, but right after games, it's just pictures of me in a mop bucket, in ice or whatever. So right after I got on the court, after I get off the court, strictly in an ice bucket for a little bit, staying off of my feet, and also some days, coach would let me kind of sit out or take parts of practice off just to, do some treatment on it. And also I had have a very good training staff at Texas Tech. So they were dedicated and would be staying up late nights with me during the tournament, rubbing my toe and just doing stuff that helped me feel better so I could play better.
So training and strength and development has a lot to do with any sport, honestly. But how big did nutrition and strength preparation help you in the game?
It's a big factor, especially when Coach Beard came in and he brought his staff and other people in. We kind of took it to another level. He was fighting for us when it came to more meals, more nutrition, more just anything. So when we took nutrition to another level, I feel like we took our game to another level. So it definitely played a big part and helped us out in the long run with our bodies.
Did they have a specific routine for you guys, or did you just kind of watch what you eat and kind of, I guess when y'all
Depending on who you were, if you needed to lose weight or gain weight, they would have certain shakes or certain tips on what you should eat. But they would bring us breakfast pretty much every morning, or like to the arena. We'd go up there and eat breakfast.
That's
The
good.
athletes, we have like a pavilion where all the athletes would go eat together, where it's pretty healthy food. And then during the season after practice, they would have meals for us waiting in a room where we have like team dinner every day. So it was pretty good.
nice.
Do you have any specific drills that work for you in terms of shooting, dribbling, or defense that you could like pass on to maybe some other up and coming basketball players?
I mean, I just pretty much stick to the basics. I mean, just the fundamentals. It's just like stationary shooting or two ball dribbling, or when it comes to defensive drills, you can just get your friend and play one on one. It's just I feel like everything you do, it just you really stick to the basics. I don't feel like you need to go pass the ball and go jump through a hoop and do the worm on the floor and get back up and shoot the ball. So I just feel like you just stick to the basics and you'll be good.
If you could go back in time, what would you tell yourself?
Wait, back in time to win.
Like when you were like younger, like if there was any point like you had doubts about like your career with basketball, what would you tell yourself?
I would just tell myself to keep going. It'll all be worth it. I mean, if you could see where you'll be in a couple of years, you'll put in even more work. So just definitely tell myself it'll be worth it.
And has anyone given you any advice about like the path that you've embarked like in your college career and like into your pro career that like you thought was beneficial for yourself?
I mean, you pretty much get advice every day from the coaches. They just kind of pretty much tell you that you're kind of like a household name now. You have a title kind of, and like you just got to watch what you do, and you put in the work, everything will work itself out, and just I don't know, just keep going.
So I guess we're gonna kind of go back to Tech, and we all know, like everybody that goes to Tech knows that you guys have such a bond on the team, and not every school gets that like best friendship that a lot of you guys have. So like, how have y'all maintained? Who do you see kind of stepping into your footsteps in the next couple of years?
The seniors they have to right now. I can see Lawrence stepping up. I can see our new transfer Matt Mooney stepping up, and also from one of our younger guys, Jared Culver. He definitely has to have a big season, so I can definitely see him stepping up into that role because it's win or go home, win or lose, and Coach Beard he doesn't take losing kindly, so somebody will have to step up. So, but definitely I see the seniors stepping up, and he'll have them ready.
Yeah. Good. How was like the transition to like college to pro? Was it like easy, or like was it different? Did you like know what to expect?
A lot of flights.
It was man, it's after like I pretty much kind of finished school a little early because I had to go to the NBA combine, which was in Chicago, so I missed final exams. I took them while I was out of town. So it's been it was a lot of staying in hotels because you're traveling to other places and, just meeting a lot of new people and, just being around people. So it was kind of slow too because I was on the scooter for a while because I had got surgery to fix my toe. So it was a struggle, but it was definitely fun now. And then it was kind of like playing catch up once I got out the boot and got back to working out and getting back into shape. Like I've never sweated so much in my life when I started back working out. It was just like I jumped one time and I'm just like drenched in sweat. So it was definitely fun, but also tough. Just playing catch up.
You did some work, you and the team did some work with a charity that I work with because I myself had an experience with a brain injury 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Team Look Up for Minds. Can you talk a little bit more about their mission and what y'all and you specifically are trying to do with them?
Yeah, they were just I mean, he came and told us the story, and we kind of knew what had happened in the past, and we were just kind of trying to spread it. They're trying to spread awareness for, brain injuries or just pretty much injuries in general, and trying to help out. I think it's kids in Texas now. I don't know if they've changed it, but it's that they're just providing help for families with kids who need help with brain injuries or trauma injuries. So it's definitely like a good cause that that they're doing, starting that foundation, and then teaming up with Hope for Minds.
Awesome. And okay, I just want to ask, I guess this isn't even, I don't know, maybe I missed it, but what was it like having Beard coach you guys? And do you have like any last words to the team, or did you have any last words or like farewells or anything?
Playing for Coach Beard, it was very different. I never met a coach that was so aggressive and brought the best out of players like that, like how he does, and it works out, and it was just an adjustment, but you eventually learn to love him and how he brings the best out of you. So I definitely owe him a big thanks to that, just helping me take my game to another level. And I didn't really have a farewell to the guys just because I don't know. I came back a couple times during the summer, and I don't know. I still FaceTime them or before practice, and I'll be like, man, I can't wait to come back to laugh at y'all running practice, or just I still give them advice. I talk to Norris a lot. I text Jared and try to make sure that he's where he needs to be right now as far as being a leader and taking that next step. And I'll just still check on. I'll text Coach Beard and ask him how this week of practice went. See where the guys' heads are. If they're going in the right direction. So I definitely check on them all the time. I don't know. It feels kind of weird not being there, but it feels kind of cool not being there again. But it all.
Kind of
I
like,
don't know. I can't say a farewell.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be back. You can be back. You're always gonna be with them and stuff. Like, y'all are best friends. That's what's so funny, because you really don't see that like all the time with team.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you guys, anybody have any more questions, or Jared?
Yeah, what are you looking forward to now? What's the plan going forward?
The future.
I'm looking forward to this season. We play the Oklahoma City Thunder tomorrow, so that'll be exciting. First NBA game, and it should be a fun one. So,
Ooh, excited to like cross on play. Who are you the most excited?
Are you gonna dunk on Westbrook?
We got to work on terminology. Oh my god!
I wonder.
I don't know. I'm just excited to get out there and play. That's it. I'm just ready to play.
For sure.
Okay. We had another interview.
That wasn't me. That was her. Like
see.
That was all your times.
I was starting.
We asked that in the De'Aaron one.
Excited to play, and then I was like, "Were you excited to cross play on?"
I think she was trying to say, like, who are you excited to like cross, like on the court, like cross by, like
yeah,
or like do some work on,
okay, or that
break ankles. I don't know.
This is hilarious. This is hilarious.
Anybody like that you're specifically excited to play against?
Really just all stars. I mean, I'm excited to play just in general, but it's always cool being around all stars. That you watched on TV growing up your whole life, and then it'll just be cool.
Yeah.
And then again, they'll try to bump you, and you have to snap out of it and be like, okay, you're not watching TV anymore. You're playing.
Like, we're almost equals, but like then
yeah.
Exactly. All right. You have another question, Jared, or no?
I'm good.
You're good? All right. I'm going to work on my terminology under pressure.
Yes.
So maybe next year I'll be like throwing out the basketball for dummies. But
no, we can't be. Not next year. Not next year. Soon. You got to get ready for the season.
Yeah, exactly. True. You're right. Wasn't it next week? All right. Yeah. I guess. Thank you so much for like.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, you're.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Have a great season.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.